Well, the Void event. At this point I don't think it's happening. Which is strange because Belveth was teasing some imminent threats. Something is happening in the Freljord, and what was the deal with Kassadin? Anyway, it seems like Star Guardians are gonna be the big summer event, and we all know what Star Guardians are like. There is PvE, which unlike a new champion is new content for all players, and it is glorious, right? Surely we are getting PvE. Well, at least there are some things that suggest that. So, in case you missed it, Riot announced that there will be a new Star Guardian event starting on July 14th. But unlike just any other event, the way they are teasing this one feels different. First of all, the 14th of July fits the summer event date. For the last 4 years, every summer we got a big event with some new actual content. Because releasing a new champion hardly counts as new content for 99% of all players. Last year we got the Ruination, which came with its own Ultimate Spellbook game mode. Before that we got Spirit Blossom, which came out with Nexus Blitz. Before that, in 2019, we took a break. And before that, we got Odyssey with its own PvE game mode, which to this day has been my favorite event in the history of League of Legends. Not to mention that before that, in 2017, we got the first Star Guardian event with its own PvE game mode. All in all, you can definitely notice the pattern. So it's clear that the 2022 Star Guardian event should be more than just new skins, tokens and chroma versions. Though that will definitely be there too. And surprisingly, there is a lot of evidence that suggests that we will be getting PvE too. I don't know if I'm getting high from all the copium, but today I will try to convince you that's the case. So that you too can enjoy running on the edge of disappointment when it doesn't happen. But before we get into the juicy part, let's first break down the actual teaser. Because there we can already find quite a few Easter eggs. Now, a word of warning, the internet is currently experiencing some Star Guardian leaks. I'm not gonna cover any of them here, I will totally ignore them. In fact, I am actively trying to avoid them, and so far I've been successful. At this point, people know that I hate leaks, they ruin the actually planned reveals. But if you like them, I'm totally fine with that. Just be happy the way you wanna be. But if you are a creator who is covering leaks and you don't actually censor the leaks, and instead you make sure to spoil it in the title and the thumbnail of the video, I have something for you. Oh, please take it. You earned it. The teaser starts by showing us Valorant City. If you have explored the story of Star Guardians before, this is where all of the stories took place. By the way, I just wanna point out, out of all the alternative universes, Star Guardian has by far the most lore. They got 4 different stories and 2 full cinematics. On top of that, every single Guardian also has their own bio. We have covered all of those stories on our channel in the past, so if you wanna explore them, those videos are old, but you can still go and watch them. We then get a shot of someone's desk. Here you can see Ari's Bunny Fox companion, a picture that is likely teasing 2 of the new squad mates, a wind chime that has 5 falling stars representing the original team. You can see Dango right below it, which is a companion that has not been assigned to anyone just yet. So it's possible that Dango will belong to one of the new skins. And yes, all of the Star Guardian little legends should belong to someone, since Shisa specifically belongs to Soraka. Then there is a random shot outside, but in the reflection you can see that this is a doorway to someone's house. Maybe this is where one of the Guardians lives. Then there is a ramen stand. In the entirety of League of Legends, there has only ever been one champion who was marketed with ramen. And that was Akali. So maybe she is one of the 5 new skins. Then there is a look with Rakan and Xayah. At this point you may realize that this teaser is actually trying to reference every single Star Guardian, including the new ones. There is also a dog, but I don't know who that's related to. In the next shot you can see Jinx on the wall, and you can see a companion back there in the shadows. This can either be Fuva, which would be teasing one of the new skins, since Fuva also doesn't belong to anyone, or it may be Lulu's companion. We then get a coffee shop, I'm not actually sure what that logo is referencing, although I do feel like I have seen it somewhere. But you can see more Guardians being teased in the blurry magazines. Then we get one of the iconic gacha machines. These actually show us some previous Star Guardian merch. There are the mini figures. Next to it there is the main poster from the last event, and then there is the rest of the minifigures. But there is also a Coca-Cola vending machine. Like, it has the white strip and all. This almost looks like a partnership. Then there is a coffee flower garden. This one even has a Coca-Cola bottle on the table. Like, it even has the font. Is there going to be a Coca-Cola partnership? Then there is a shot of the city. This one has an image of a random new person. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a teaser for one of the new Guardians. And there is also Riot HQ, with the text that faintly reads, Rito. Then we get a shot of their school. Curiously enough, this reminds me of the Battle Academia school logo, although those should be two different universes. And then we get into someone's locker. You can see there is a picture of a butterfly, that should be Zoe. There are bunnies to represent misfortune, and there is a photo of the new skins. Most of these are unrecognizable, but then there is this one. You don't need an enhancing camera to figure out who that is. Also, there is this note. While it is supposed to be just random squiggles, it starts with an R, it has a dip in the middle, and it ends with AR. In other words, it perfectly reads as Rengar. Now, it may be a coincidence, but I believe that one of the Star Guardians might have an affection for Rengar. Because I don't believe they would actually give Rengar a Star Guardian skin, though it would be glorious. There is also a hanging tea bag, and I genuinely don't know what that means. Then we get into the musical class, and this is where most people start shouting Seraphine. My only issue is that Seraphine literally just got a skin, so I don't think that's who's gonna be in the class, but Sona is still on the table. Also, notice these glasses, because in the next shot we can see the rest of the band. And if you zoom in on the stand, you can see two new companions. One of them is a unicorn shark, kinda like Sharpedo, and the other one is a mouse with glasses. I wouldn't be surprised if the mouse with glasses belonged to the Guardian who was also wearing glasses. But anyway, it seems like the Guardians will join a band just like they do in the animes. Also, here's a crazy Gigabrain connection. You can see the ballet gear on one of the chairs. And the only champion who has ever been marketed with that was not Oriana, that's just her dance, but it was actually Kaisa in the KDA universe. That's literally all her character was about. And because these alternative universes borrow the same characteristics, I really wouldn't be surprised if we actually got Star Guardian Kaisa. And then there is the wide shot of the entire class. Here I believe you can find references to every single Star Guardian. Every desk should belong to someone. You can see the ramen pin in the front. Once again, this could actually be Akali's desk. Whoever is going to be the musician is right behind her. And there is a juice sipper behind that. The one that has nothing on the desk is obviously gonna be Jinx. And so on and so forth. You can even see that some of the desks align with some of the previous cinematics. Then there is a shot of the teacher's desk. This one strangely reminds me of Battle Academia Graves. But there is a massive red flag. The scribble reminds me of the demonic compendium. And the rune in the middle is very close to one of the demonic runes. Now, if the theory holds that Neela is supposed to get a Star Guardian skin for her launch skin, because she has a demon, that would make sense why this is here. We might be actually dealing with Star Guardian demons. And then it zooms in on the final teaser, one of the Star Guardians. Now, some people believe that this may actually be Lux. I wouldn't be surprised because the color of her hair matches, and she is wearing the same pendant that teased the original Star Guardians, which were marketed with Lux. However, if you go frame by frame, you may notice that that Star Guardian has vividly purple eyes, which doesn't really fit Lux. So this might actually be one of the new skins. However, before we suffer from the same face syndrome, and in this case the same body syndrome, I genuinely have no idea who this could be. This could be Seraphine for all we know. And then we get the final logo, which really seems to be carefully designed. It is obviously themed a little bit after Genshin Impact, but regardless, you can feel that this logo was made for something greater than just skins. Now, to me, there seems to be an obvious reason why this teaser showed us random locations tied to the Star Guardians. It's because these are the places where we will talk to them in the dating sim. That's right, this seems to suggest we will get another visual novel. Just look at the environment. A coffee shop? A ramen stand? A flower garden? A sunset with the view of the city? You bet we are gonna meet one of the tougher guardians here. Also, a doorway to someone's home? You can't tell me this doesn't look like places where we would talk to the guardians. They are perfect for this. So this is strong evidence that the visual novel is coming back. But now, as you may know, I don't think this is the only thing we are getting. I still believe PvE is coming back too. And there are some quite good evidence that would suggest it. So now, without further ado, let's get into the meat of this video. And let's go through the evidence about PvE. Evidence number 1. The name of the teaser. I don't think it's a coincidence that the teaser is called Return to Valorant City. I mean, it is true that we are coming back to somewhere where we have been. We have had 4 stories from that place. But we have also been there physically. Because you see, the original PvE game mode took place in the Valorant City Park. That is what the map was called. So this title may have more meaning than you think. Maybe it's teasing that the Valorant City Park is also coming back. Evidence number 2. While there were a lot of leaks, no Star Guardians appeared on PvE just yet. This all may be for a very good reason. Last time Riot did this was with Odyssey. At first, they did tell us the date something cool would happen. We then got the Odyssey cinematic, which made us believe that we would just get some really cool skins. And then, out of nowhere, they released the PvE game mode. They specifically avoided PvE so that it would be a new experience to everyone. That is one of the reasons why Odyssey Crash Site is to this day my favorite event that ever happened in League of Legends. That PvE game mode was glorious. And for the same reason of a new experience to everyone, I believe Star Guardians may be avoiding PvE too. Evidence number 3. This is a multi-game release. After the Ruination happened, funnily enough, the Wild Rift team came out and they said they will try to separate themselves from League a little bit more. They will have their own events, but they will still collaborate on big releases. And because here we can see that it is for League of Legends, Wild Rift and Legends of Runeterra, this has to be a big event. Perhaps bigger than we may think. Now, as I mentioned, Riot will also most likely give us the visual novel. But when it comes to that, most of the foundational work has already been done. From an engineer's point of view, now it's a matter of making new assets and writing new dialogues. The rest should be ready to go. Which means that Riot should have the resources to do both a visual novel and a new game mode. It wouldn't be unthinkable since Spirit Blossom got the dating sim and Nexus Blitz. So the size of the event favors us once again. Speaking of which, there is evidence number 4. There was a lot of writers who spoke out on Twitter and said that they've been part of this event. And they are all getting really excited about its release. Of course, this would happen for everything Riot is releasing. But this time, the scale seems to be a lot bigger. It might be comparable to something like the Ruination. And with so many writers on board, from writing music to making art to designing systems, this really does seem to be something beyond just a prestige skin. Now, besides all of this evidence, there is something else we need to mention. When it comes to PvE, Riot has always been trying to avoid it. Previously, Riot had an issue with the players playing the game mode for only a couple of games and then quitting. But one could argue that's not an issue with the players, that one goes onto the gameplay. Odyssey showed this really well. One part of the issue in Odyssey was that the progression seemed random. You weren't really progressing towards anything because you were unlocking random augments after every win. If you don't remember, during Odyssey you could augment the abilities of your champion. For example, you could make it so that Yasuo's tornadoes were AoE, and every time a tornado would hit an enemy, it would also spawn another tornado of tornadoes. But the other issue was that you could use the same augments every game, and you could willingly decide to play the OP build every time. Which means that after you have played with it once, you have seen it all. Once again, all of that is an issue of the gameplay. But you can fix it all with something that rose to popularity only recently. You can fix it with rogue-like elements. Imagine during Odyssey you could pick your augments like you do in TFT. Suddenly, every game is different. And suddenly you inherit the one thing roguelikes excel at. The same thing Riot thought Odyssey was missing. And that is replayability. So with this one little change, Riot can turn the Star Guardian PvE game mode into the best game mode we have ever had. But that's it for my take on the recent Star Guardian event teaser. It seems like something amazing is brewing, and I can't wait to see what we get. Unlike the Ruination, which was based in the core canon universe, there is a lot less risk of toying with the Star Guardian universe. Riot can go goofy again and it won't be an issue. And they can once again insert in a new character controlled by us, and it won't screw with the canonical timelines. Beyond this though, I am still the most excited about the potential PvE. Riot, I am confident you can understand that casual players would love to see something beyond just PvP. But then again, maybe this video is just me overdosing on copium.